The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
Oh, Nigeria is more Nigeria than Nigeria.
As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't want to delve much into Ncheta Omerekpe because I know that Ncheta Omerekpe, after the primaries and there was some, way of reconciliation, you recall if you've been following the trajectory, you know that
Professor Ikonne visited him,
and there was a whole lot of reconciliation. You know what Professor Ikonne had been doing is going underground, talking to all these people that actually contested with him that were not favored, and thank God that the response has been very massive. And I believe that Ncheta was one of them. And I can tell you authoritatively that Ncheta Omerekpe now set up his own committee to come and also liaise with the committee that Professor Ikonne set up so that there will be harmony between the two committees. So he now gave the mandate to his committee that they should come and negotiate with Professor Ikonne so that those people will be assimilated into the campaign team of Professor Ikonne, talking of doing gender. And they came, and I can tell you I was part of those negotiations, and everything was assimilated and it was endorsed. And I can tell you today, one of them, Clinton Oba, who is also a known journalist as a blogger that you can confirm to me, is also now a member of our media team of PDP Campaign Council, and he is the spokesperson of Ncheta Omerekpe. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if Ncheta, after accepting that his team will work with us and we harmonize and we've assimilated them into the campaign council, just now woke up to now say that he's not interested. I think it's a way of trying to, I don't know how I would describe it, but I would say that it's just a public show because all his guys who he sent to our team are part of us. And by extension, if your spokesperson is there, and I spoke with Clinton, who is the spokesperson a few days ago, he told me, my brother, as far as he's concerned, that he has sent his people to come and work with Professor Ikonne. And they're working with Professor Ikonne, so they don't even understand what he's saying. So I'm sure that Ncheta may have everything, probably woke up from the bad side of the bed. But what matters most is that those people who are sent to work with us, they are working with us.
Is it possible that some persons who are in the Ncheta camp would have moved away from him and not aware of his current standing? Because I want to understand that the People's Democratic Party, being a very large party with years of experience under their belt when it comes to politics in Nigeria, should have been aware of everybody's stand, or the members of the campaigns council, before putting out such an extensive list. For that kind of list to be put out, there's also an understanding that should have been formed, with the people who are on the list. They should have been reached out to. I mean, that list couldn't have just been put out by somebody. There should have been a committee to, harmonize and have the subsections outlined. Chief Elvis Ncheta Omerekpe was clearly a member, or supposed to be a member, of the finance committee.
Mr. Tici Barrah, I am telling you something that happened, which is something that can be confirmed. That at least you agreed with me that Professor Ikonne visited him. There were a whole lot of meetings, and he also endorsed Professor Ikonne. So at the end of the day, the man now endorsed those that will be assimilated in the campaign team. So he collapsed his own structure into the structure of Professor Ikonne, which means he endorsed it.
There was a report after that visit. There was a report after that visit by Professor Ikonne to Chief Elvis, stating that he hadn't endorsed Ikonne. I read a statement, a press release from Chief Elvis Ncheta Omerekpe at that time.
Tici, I gave you an example of what happened. I said we had meetings with him, and he now collapsed his structure into our structure. What does that suggest? I'm asking you now. When somebody collapses his own entire structure and say, go and negotiate, and after the negotiation, they were now assimilated into the structure. What does that mean?
Well, the question is a rhetorical question. I am the one asking the questions on the program. My name is Barrah Temple, and this is the Standpoint, Rapid 96.5 FM. That's the Commissioner for Strategic Communications and Documentation, talking about Honorable Buchuku Emezue, speaking on the person, Chief Ncheta Omerekpe. Of course, you recall the governor had said aggrieved members of the People's Democratic Party should sheath their swords, that the PDP had all it takes to win elections. Coincidentally, the governor is celebrating his birthday today. But we will be looking at Ncheta's point of view. He speaks today. Ofondibo, as he is called, did put out a press statement that he's expressing deep shock and great surprise for hearing his name in a radio announcement as a member of the PDP, and that he did not endorse the PDP governorship candidate, governorship campaign, council finance committee, and hereby had certain things to state. I'll read them to you. 1. I did not endorse the PDP governorship candidate. 2. The PDP governorship candidate called me on the phone on the 9th September 2022 by 8 a.m. where I boldly told him that I'm not supporting him. 3. That there was no primaries held. Instead, they only selected whom they preferred. 4. That he walked away. Let me use it verbatim. I'll say it verbatim. That I walked away from the so-called primaries to face my business, as my concern is to help Abians who have suffered untold hardship, mostly those affected by the area market flood and other parts of the state. 5. That I've directed my lawyers to find out and sue any person or group of persons that submitted or mentioned my name as a member of the so-called committee. 6. That my teaming supporters and my foundation will not attend any PDP campaign council meeting, especially in Abia South Senatorial Zone. 7. That I'm detribalized politician who believes that any zone can produce a governor, as far as the peace person will turn Abia around. 8. That any threat to me or my family will not be taken for granted, as it will be followed up with all instruments known to the law. 9. That nobody should mention my name as a member of the PDP governorship campaign council again, and any person or group of persons that does so will face the music. 10. That nobody should demand anything, money, arms, or any gratification from me or from my supporters or my foundation in the name that I am with them. 11. That I am supporting and working for the PDP presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, whom I know too well, a good friend whom I trust that will transform the country. 12. That I'm in talks with a possible candidate that will turn Abia around, review the Abia Town Hall, which is our pride, construct Potaka Road, Fox, and other roads that are in deplorable conditions, pay salaries and pensions as at when due, as I will support him with my strength and resources to take Abia to enviable heights. That is my stand, the stand of my foundation and my teaming supporters. Signed, Ncheta Chief, yes, Ncheta Omerekpe of Ndibo. Well, today on the program, we'll be having a conversation with Ofondibo as he joins us via phone this morning. A very good morning to you, Ofondibo.
How are you?
I am fine, thank you. Let's go to the myth of the matter as quickly as possible. Are you there, sir? Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you. I can loud and clear, yeah. Sure.
Welcome to the program. All right, so yesterday we had the Commissioner for Strategic Communications and Documentation, Ugochukwu Emezue. He made some stronger statement. He says you collapsed your structure for that of Professor Uche Elieza Ikonne, who's the Guba candidate for the PDP in Abia State. Is that so, sir?
Well, ordinarily, I took a decision not to join issues with any disgruntled. Let me withdraw that. disgruntled statement. I made a decision not to join issues with anybody in Abia State as far as PDP and the governorship contest is concerned. However, I know Ugochukwu Emezue as a gentleman. I don't know him as a tout. That's why I want to respond to this now. 2 weeks ago, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
2 weeks ago, I issued a statement stating categorically clear that I will never support Prof Ikonne. Underline that I will never support Prof Ikonne. After they made announcements, just like the commissioner issued yesterday, including my name as a member of the campaign council.
Okay, sir.
Now, if you have time, I can give you a little historical background to what happened and why I took my decision not to support Prof Ikonne. If you have the time, can I go ahead?
Yes, please, Chief. Go ahead.
Good. Now, the governorship candidate contest of Abia State, vis-a-vis the PDP 2023 election, started 3 years ago. A lot of aspirants, serious aspirants, indicated interest. Myself, the likes of Enyina Baribe, Enyina Wafo, and others indicated interest. We were prepared. We went out canvassing, spending our money. Prof Ikonne never showed up. Prof Ikonne never spent a dime of his own. Prof Ikonne never came out. In fact, December before this last one, I went to him with the president of Ungwa Petros, who's Omi Huga, because we were hearing rumors that the former deputy governor in our state, Achonwa Kamba, was fronting him that there was a plan to impose him as a PDP candidate. I went to him as my brother because, of course, we are from the same community, to ask him. And I asked him, I said, Prof, are you by any means running for anything? Even as a, because Prof Ikonne, and with due respect, does not have the capacity of being a local government chairman, not to talk of a governor of Abia State. That is already thinking. I went to him. He denied and swore with all the gods that he was not interested. So, at the 11th hour, the governor and the people around him brought him, forced their way, scuttled all the democratic processes, and then anointed him as a candidate. And I said, and I walked away, went back to my business. I said that I will not be part of any arrangement that will further subject Abia State to more suffering after 2020. And that is my position. I've never met with Ugochukwu Emezue. Maybe he was wrongly informed. Maybe his principal did not brief him very well. I'm saying categorically clear that I never collapse any of my structure. I have a very strong structure. And of course, you know that Ncheta Omerekpe Foundation, we have over 300,000 registered members. And out of these 300,000 registered members, more than 280 of them, they have their PVCs. So at the 11th hour, we will sit down, we will take a decision on who we support. But I'm giving it to you. I'm telling Abia that I will never be part of any arrangement that will further subject Abians to further suffering. Thank you.
All right, so there are a lot of questions I really want to hurl at you, but I'm just going to, take them one after the other. Let's start off with your, the last speech you just made. There's a statement in between there I'd like to bring out, and let's magnify a little bit. You said you went to the former Vice Chancellor, Professor Ikonne. Now, you said he doesn't have the capacity to even ordinarily become a local government chairman. Now, what bugs me is the fact that if he didn't have the capacity, why did you go to him in the first place?
Listen. What's your definition of capacity? For instance, Ncheta Omerekpe, if you ask me, what have you done in your past?
Okay.
I've been a trader, a practical trader at the Ngwa Road Market, the then line 3 shade 13. I've been into construction since 2000. I run a formidable farm. Last year, during my campaign, I brought a group from Netherlands that would have invested $2 billion in agriculture, that would have offered employment to over 300,000 Abia youth. It was the wife of Prof Ikonne, who was the permanent secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, then, not knowing that they had this intention, they've been discussing with the governor or something to make him better. That scuttled that arrangement. So capacity, let me ask you, has Ikonne lived outside Abia State in his entire life? Apart from being a lecturer, has Ikonne bought a pin and sold it? What experience in construction does he know? What crop in agriculture does he know? Now, are you aware that Abia State is owing over 100 billion naira to Diamond Bank? You've not mentioned the Zenith Bank. You've not mentioned the First Bank. Where will he get the revenue to pilot the affairs of Abia State?
So what you're saying, you don't think he has, the managerial acumen or the wherewithal to manage?
You see, where the present governor, the level of mess the present government in Abia has put Abia State, you need somebody that has the contact, the external contact, that has the experience. Ikonne doesn't have that. He doesn't. I challenge him to a debate one-on-one. He doesn't.
I presume you do have that contact. You do have that clout.
I mentioned to you that last 2 years, I have the files, I have all the documents that I brought Dutch Africa. Abia State government had as at 2016, they had over 40,000 hectares in their land bank. What we are requesting for was 30,000 hectares to inject $2 billion. It was the wife of Prof Ikonne who was the then permanent secretary. The Ministry of Agriculture. That's scuttled everything.
That's some, but that's some strong allegations.
I have the files.
I wish we can cite those documents, but if I might remind you, just on this program, you had said 5 billion, and now you're saying
I said 2 billion. No, I never said 5 billion. 2 billion, the request, the letters from Abia State government, the letters from my company, the letters from Dutch Africa, we came. Somebody like the present Minister of governor was the SSG. All right.
Who was the governor at that time?
The same governor. The same governor. I'm talking about 2017, 2018. Okay, was the governor, and he's still the governor.
Well, I'm aware of the fact that you enjoy a relationship with the governor and that you're on first name basis with him. Why would it have been so difficult to approach the governor and have all of these issues sorted out, and then instead of it being scuttled by a permanent secretary?
The governor does not have the will. He's not interested in anything that will set Abia State apart with the other states. He was part of we visited him, the team visited him, the group wrote him directly. We pleaded with him. Can I tell you one thing that will shock you? The team spent over 2 weeks in Abia State. We took land samples. We went to. It will shock you to know that of all the samples they took in Nigeria, the water sample from Blue River was the best in Africa.
Assuming Blue River.
Yeah, assuming Blue River. The sample they took from there, they took because we were looking for where to, apart from Abia State, when we went to other states. But the sample they took, the soil sample they took, the water sample they took from Blue River was the best in Africa. I have this document. So somebody, a group of people who supported such an investment that would have provided over 300,000 jobs in 3 years for their youth cannot throw up a candidate, and then you ask me to be part of that. I will not be part of that. With due respect, sir.
All right, but it's also in public space that your Chief Press Secretary, Clinton Oba, is now a member of the Ikonne media team, and that he has your blessings to be a part of that media team.
Let me tell you what happened. Oba is an adult. Now, immediately after the shenanigans, they called their primaries. I called everybody to say, this is what happened. I will not, and my family, and Ncheta Omerekpe group will not be part of that shenanigan. That everybody was at liberty. Do you understand?
Yes, I can hear you.
To support whoever that he or she wishes. But at the 11th hour, the group that commands over 300,000 followers will take a decision. And we will take a decision. And when we do, Abians will be happy with our decisions. Because first of all, we'll place all the cards on the table. We will look at all the governorship candidates. We'll look at their records. We'll look at who have the contact and the capacity. Because Abia State, let me ask you something. I don't know where you're from.
I'm from Isialangwa.
Well, if you're from Isialangwa, good. Are you from Isialangwa, north or south?
I'm on Sulu.
You're from Sulu, eh?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you, my people, they are playing clannish politics. I've gone beyond that, and I cannot do that. Now, between 2001, I can't remember, 2002, Ojuzo was governor. Eh?
Yes, sir.
Ojuzo is from Iberi. If you remember, if you're from Sulu, the old Aba road, Ururuka road, the military abandoned that road for more than 6 years. It was Ojuzo Kano from Iberi that reconstructed that road from Isi Court to Waterside. That road is about 110 kilometers. Then, Ojuzo Kano reconstructed that road with less than 600 million naira. And since 2001, that's the road everybody has been passing through to Abba. Now, happens to be from Obingwa. His village is along that road. Has he been able to maintain that road? If if he runs now, can you pass through Tumbubo? That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so I feel we're just everywhere with the discussion, and it might just be important, that we just have like a streamlined conversation. So let me bring it back to the Abia PDP, in general. Would you say that you are aggrieved with PDP in Abia State?
PDP in Abia State, I can boldly say that PDP in Abia State happens to be my baby.
Your baby?
Yes.
What do you mean by that, please?
I'm coming now. I'm coming. In 1998, I was a trader, like I told you.
Yes, you said.
When it was all Jews of